Hey, it's Dallas here. I just want to talk to you today about selling with stories. So, one of the things that I've really looked at in how to express your marketing message is how you can build a story around your client, around their experience of where they are now and where they want to go and how they can get there. And one of the best ways to do this is with stories, and especially client success stories. So, client success stories are just one of a heap of different types of stories that you can use in marketing your business. Client success stories are the ones where you talk about someone who came to you with a problem, and ideally it's the problem of the people you're trying to market to. They came to you with that specific problem, and you had to talk to them about where they were, where they wanted to get to, and made a plan with them about where they wanted to go, and then you executed that plan with them, and they got from where they were to where they wanted to go, and following your plan. So it's a case study for how you can get a specific result for a specific type of client, and it's the perfect way to market to that specific type of client with that specific problem. So as I said, there's a ton of other different types of stories. You can have stories about your own experience. It can be, I was here and then I got to where I wanted to go, and this is how I did it. So that's sort of the the self case study or your own journey. And that's really popular. It can get a little bit, we've all heard so many. I was here, living under the bridge, and then, I searched for the magic method. I found the magic method, and now here I am, a millionaire, and you can too. We've heard so many of those that we're jaundiced, we're skeptical of them, and it can be a bit tedious and self-indulgent. So it's great to have your own discovery story, but it's much more powerful if you can back that up with real examples from real people that you've helped. So that's really what someone's looking for and getting to know, like, and trust you, is that they can see how it might work for them. That's what you're trying to communicate through a client success story. Now, with my approach to messaging, we look really distinctly at who your client is, and we go looking for high value clients, the ones who you can help the most. We look for an offer that's highly appealing to them, and develop a specific product or packaging of your services into a productized service that will deliver on that in a really thorough and comprehensive and credible way. It makes a lot of sense to the buyer, just what they're getting and how it's going to help them. And one of the reasons why this framework is so powerful, because there's a lot of different ways to construct your sort of messaging or your value proposition. One of the ways this is so powerful is that stories also track these three things. You have a hero of the story, you have a goal or a desire, an objective, and you have challenges or conflict around that. What's stopping them getting there? And I really learned this from Michael Haig, who writes on story and mythology, and has done a lot of work with marketers, but really specialises in big Hollywood blockbusters. And his work with some top names, and he's used as a textbook by some of the top names in marketing. In big studio film production like Will Smith, and they have sort of refer to his work when writing some of their iconic films. So, that structure is really useful. So to be able to have a marketing message that you can structure into something like a landing page, but then know also how that should be communicated through story, is really powerful. So, I'll talk more about how that works, but just to start with, in the hero's journey, you want your client to feel, to put themselves in the role of the hero. The client just identifies with things that are relevant to them, and the more emotional it is, and you cause emotion by having desire and by having conflict, and that's how we relate and connect with the person and create with the character, and create a deeper connection with them. So really getting those things into your story, but being sure also that they are aligned with what your ideal client, their desired future or desired outcome, what they're really buying, what they're hoping to get from working with you, and your product method, which needs to somehow address the conflicts that they're feeling about where they are and where they want to get to, then it needs to connect with the things that aren't, that they feel are stopping them. If you can specify how you solve the things that they feel are stopping them getting to their goal in your marketing message, but also in your client journey, if you tick the boxes of the things they feel are standing in their way in your marketing, and specifically with the story, in the series of challenges or obstacles that the hero must overcome to reach the goal, to achieve the desired outcome. Once you can do that, then you've really nailed the connection between your story and your product, and it'll just be, people will be so much more pre-sold, and you'll disqualify the wrong people, because you want to be very honest in this. This tells people exactly what you can do, who you can help, and who you can't help, and the mistakes that if they keep making, they'll never get there. That helps people say, oh, look, I know if I'm going to do this, there's more to it than just buying it. I've got to go through these challenges and I'll get help on the way, especially with things like coaching or consulting, but even if it's technical help, or if it's software, specific things you can solve in your product, that helps you to communicate the potential for transformation, which is what we're always selling, especially with less tangible services. So I hope that is helpful around story. I will definitely talk a lot more on story, so I'll connect to those. So make sure you have a look at the related posts or related videos. You should see a few other videos on storytelling and messaging, because really storytelling is just a sophisticated form of messaging that connects with the narrative part of the brain, which is connected to the emotional part of the brain, which is what does the buying. So it's critical to incorporate story when you're trying to communicate more complex, emotional or intangible value propositions. So I hope that's helpful, and I will see you in the next video.